Every day, we generate waste. But waste is not just a cleanliness problem, it is also a climate issue. When waste is sent to landfill, it produces methane. Methane is much more powerful than carbon dioxide in the short term. So today, I want to answer one question. Do waste policy really helps reduce carbon emissions? In the waste sector, emissions come from several stages. These include collections, treatment, incinerations, and especially landfill. Landfill is the biggest issue because organic waste breaks down and produces methane. To reduce emissions, countries apply decarbonization strategies. These include recycling, waste to energy, and circular economy approaches. The goal is simple: reduce landfill, recover material, and lower emissions. In developed countries, strong systems can reduce emission effectively. For example, in the European Union, waste policy helped reduce greenhouse gas emissions from municipal waste by 56% between 2001 and 2010. At the same time, about 44% of waste is recycled, while only around 28% is sent to landfill. In countries like Sweden, landfill rates are even lower, below 10%. This works because the system is well integrated. There are strong regulations, good infrastructure, and high public compliance. Waste is not treated as waste. It is treated as a resource. In Malaysia, the situation is very different. Waste generation is increasing. At the same time, more than 80% of waste is still sent to landfill. Although policy exists, the results are limited. There are three main reasons. First, enforcement is weak. Waste segregations depend heavily on voluntary behavior. Second, infrastructure is limited. Recycling and sorting systems are not fully developed. Third, behavior is inconsistent. Many people still dispose of mixed waste. This shows that having policy alone is not enough. The key insight from this analysis is simple. Decarbonization depends on system performance, not policy presence. Policy only works when four elements are aligned. First is enforcement. Rules must be applied consistently. Second, infrastructure. System must be able to process waste properly. Third, economic incentive. Recycling must be financially viable. Fourth, behavior. People must consistently separate waste at the source. For example, in South Korea, households pay based on how much waste they produce. This creates a direct financial impact. As a result, recycling rate exceeds 50%. In contrast, carbon markets sometimes fail. About 85% of projects under the Clean Development Mechanism did not create real emission reductions. This shows that not all mechanisms work equally well. Effectiveness depends on real behavior and system design. In conclusions, waste policy can support decarbonization, but their success depends on how the system works as a whole. The European Union showed that when regulations, infrastructures, incentives, and the behavior are aligned, real emission reductions can be achieved. Malaysia showed that when these elements are not aligned, policy outcomes remain limited. Moving forward, waste decarbonization cannot rely only on adding more policies. It requires strengthening the entire system. At the same time, Long-term decarbonizations also depend on reducing waste at the source. Without reducing material use, recycling alone cannot solve the problems. Only when the full system is aligned can sustainable and long-term emission reductions can be achieved.